Hi, I'm Charles Loper, and this is my wife Carol. And God called us to come to Uganda in our late 60s. And we're now in our upper middle 70s and enjoying life tremendously because of Jesus. We had both gone on a lot of mission trips. And I did some reading that talked about you can go on a mission trip for 10 days and see poverty, but you can't understand it. So I wanted to understand poverty. So I actually remember walking in my son's office and saying, Chip, I'm going to go to Uganda every month for the next 24 months. 2 weeks in Uganda and 2 weeks home. And at the end of that 24 months, I would not say that I understood poverty, but what I knew about it, it was very ugly. It affected every area of life. My wife has been to the Amazon. She's been to Russia. Where else have you been?
Well, in 2010, I was invited by E3 Partners for me to come to Uganda. So that was my first introduction to this wonderful country, and it certainly impacted me, and I knew when I got back home that the Lord was going to do something, and He did. He just said, I think it's time for you and your husband to go back to Uganda, and that's really where it began for me. Although Charles started back in 1999, 21 years ago, when you were introduced to Uganda.
Actually, Uganda was my very first mission trip. And never dreamed that I would come over here. But this is where God called us. So, honey, what is some of the most exciting things for you over here?
Lots. Very emotional. I just love these precious children. And each and every day that I see them, they run up to Mommy Carol and they want to love on me, and I want to love on them. I've just been overwhelmed. Today I was awakened by the primary children singing, "This is the day that the Lord hath made." What a wonderful thing to wake up in the morning and hear something like that. I hear the Lord's voice, and this is the day that the Lord hath made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. It was so inspiring to me. Anyway, I look forward to just being here to do whatever is needed to be done, especially with the children, and also, of course, helping enhance the campus. But I love all the wonderful people and the teachers. They're just great, and it's been a joy. And I just pray that I'll have the health to continue on.
And I have to say and really thank my wife, because I was not excited about this being a beautiful campus. I wanted it to be a campus where we raised champions for Christ. But she fought me tooth and nail, and finally she won. And we do have a really great looking campus, thanks to my wife. Thank you, hon. This ministry has taken on a holistic approach. Since we're here so much, we see issues and problems that we have to try to help with. One of them is our vocational tailoring school, where young girls that cannot continue their education either because of finances or they didn't pass the primary 7 leaving exam that entitles them to continue their education. P7 would be equivalent to the 7th grade in the United States. Can you imagine your son or daughter not being able to continue their education past the 7th grade? These girls are presented with very few opportunities after that. 2 might be to work in a bar, or to be a prostitute, or to marry an old man. And you see a lot of young girls married to old men in third world countries. So what we do is we take them through a 2-year tailoring program, and when they complete that, then we actually give them a sewing machine so that they can go into a village and have a way to make a living. We teach them tailoring, but every week they have 4 hours of discipleship of Christ, 2 hours of health and sanitation, and 1 hour of business training to help them take care of themselves once they graduate. Another area is that we do water wells. We do these water wells by hand, which is to me almost impossible. They use a post hole digger to go down 120, 130, 150, 160 feet to hit water. And when it's down 120 feet, they pull 120 feet of pipe out, empty this post hole digger, and then go down and get another load. It's fascinating, but they can really do good water wells, and it makes about 2 weeks work for somewhere between 6 and 9 people. And when you're in a country that has 75–80% unemployment, you're looking to put people to work. People in Bethlehem, where our main office is, their main drinking source is out of a dam. They call a dam over here a hole in the ground that harvests rainwater, and it's shared with animals. So it's infested with disease. And it's supposed to be boiled for 20 minutes before they use it. But that requires getting firewood and getting the water up to burning. That just doesn't happen. And then we have the hospital. The hospital, before we built the hospital, if a mother had to have a C-section, it was quite possible that she was going to die, the baby was going to die, or both were going to die. But today, with this hospital that is 11,500 square feet, and it has 4 surgical theaters, then these mothers and their children have a great chance of living. The real heartbreak of the hospital ministry is the Malnutrition Clinic. We see children brought in every day or every week that maybe they're 3 years old and they look like a 3-month-old baby. We have a 15-year-old and his 13-year-old brother that were brought to us dying, and they can do nothing except eat, go to the bathroom, and walk around. We don't know what to do with these children. We've searched high and low for a place that would take mentally disabled children to be able to help them do things we can't do, but we haven't found that, and we can't put them back out on the street. One of the great success stories of the Malnutrition Clinic was a young man about 2 years old brought into the Malnutrition Clinic dying of malnutrition. We brought him back to health, and he had a great spirit, and he showed leadership qualities. And when he turned 4, we decided to put him in our kindergarten baby class. He actually failed baby class because he had no social skills at all. And then we put him in middle class. He went back into the baby class and passed, and then he went to middle class and passed. And this year, he is actually in top class. And he's doing very well, speaks good English, and we're excited for this young man. These doctors and nurses deal with life and death situations every day with these children. We have discovered on our outreaches that we do once a month many cases of tuberculosis and sickle cell, which is very painful. They deal with this. I'm not sure how they deal with it, but they do. But when we are allowed to bring somebody back to normal health, it's very rewarding. We have a ranch And the ranch is designed to take people out of severe poverty and teach them animal husbandry and agricultural skills. Now, we don't give anything to people, but we have a reward program. They come to training 2 days a week for 2 years. And during that 2 years, those 2 days a week, every day they receive 2 hours of discipleship of Christ. They get an hour of health and sanitation and an hour of business farming. And at the end of 6 months, we give them a pregnant pig. And then we buy their piglets when they have them. At the end of a year, we give them a goat. At the end of 18 months, we give them 100 baby chickens to lay eggs. And then at the 2-year graduation, we give them a cow. I wish you could see the graduation. They're so excited. You would think that they just hit the lottery. But we don't give them these because they come to classroom training 4 hours a day, 2 days a week. But the other 4 hours, 2 days a week, they actually work on our projects for no pay. So they're earning everything that we give them. Great story. After we gave the first pregnant pigs away, I came into a classroom situation, and they're very appreciative people, and I knew what they were going to say. They were going to thank me for the pig. But I was shocked as one stood and said, "Mr. Loper, we want to thank you for bringing us and teaching us the Word of God, because nobody has ever done that."